The Golden State Warriors are standing at a crossroads again, and for once, it's not about chasing the next big star or reshaping the roster with a blockbuster move. This time, the conversation is about holding on to someone they've already invested in, someone who still sparks debates in every corner of Dub Nation. We're talking about Jonathan Kuminga. The latest reports are clear: Golden State has officially shut down all sign-and-trade talks, with the front office fully expecting to re-sign Kuminga. But before you think this is just another routine extension story, trust me, the details behind this deal, the decisions still being made, and the ripple effects it could have on the starting lineup are the kind of things that can define an entire season. And in this video, we're going to break down exactly why this move is bigger than it looks, why there are real risks attached to it, and how it could determine whether the Warriors are contending or collapsing when the playoffs arrive. If you're a true Warriors fan who lives for the behind-the-scenes battles, the chess matches in the front office, and the little details that change championship odds, make sure you hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next deep dive. Because what we're about to unpack will take you beyond the headlines and into the real heart of the Warriors' future. Now, let's get into it. The first thing to understand is that this re-signing was not as straightforward as it sounds. Sources confirm that Kuminga rejected an initial 2-year, $45 million offer from Golden State. Why? 2 sticking points. First, the second year wasn't fully guaranteed. Second, the deal came without the no-trade clause Kuminga's camp wanted. For a young player who's spent much of his early career fighting for consistent minutes and carving out a role, those conditions matter. Without guarantees, the front office could move him next summer if things didn't work out, and Kuminga clearly doesn't want to be treated as just another trade chip. That leaves 3 paths. 1. They find a middle ground with partial guarantees and some form of trade protection. 2. Kuminga bets on himself by taking the qualifying offer, which would make him an unrestricted free agent next year, a huge gamble with massive upside and downside. Or 3, the Warriors stick to their offer and risk him walking for nothing. The front office isn't saying much publicly, but the decision to shut down trade talks signals they're leaning toward keeping him long-term, even if it means revisiting those contract terms. Where this gets really interesting is how Kuminga's role is being envisioned for next season. Steve Kerr has already hinted that Kuminga will start alongside Stephen Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green. That's a bold move, especially considering the questions about fit. Both Kuminga and Butler are /first wings who thrive with the ball in their hands and prefer to operate inside the arc. Add Draymond, another non-shooter, and you're looking at a lineup with serious spacing concerns. The Warriors' entire offensive system is built on movement and shooting, and packing the floor with 3 players who don't stretch defenses to the perimeter is a recipe that could either create unique mismatches, or clog the paint and stall possessions. And here's the tough part: to make the Kuminga-Butler pairing work, Kerr might have to make one of the hardest decisions of his coaching career, adjusting Draymond Green's role. That could mean fewer minutes with the starters or shifting him to a different rotation pattern entirely. But Draymond isn't just another player, he's the defensive quarterback, the emotional leader, the guy whose voice defines the team's identity. Benching him in key stretches might help the offense, but it risks chemistry issues that could fracture the locker room. One potential solution the Warriors are exploring is leaning more on Al Horford. Horford's ability to hit threes from the top of the arc and stretch the floor could give Curry and Kuminga the space they need to operate. It would also let Golden State keep Draymond in more situational roles rather than forcing him into lineups that are already tight on spacing. Horford isn't a long-term answer, he's in the twilight of his career, but in the short term, he could be the bridge that makes this new lineup functional. Then there's the 2-guard spot, which is still very much unsettled. The names in the mix are Buddy Hield, Moses Moody, Brandon Podziemski, and DeAnthony Melton. Hield stands out as the safest bet when it comes to pure shooting, something the Warriors desperately need next to a spacing-challenged frontcourt. Moody offers length and defense, but his offensive consistency isn't there yet. Podziemski is a smart, crafty player who fits the Warriors' system but may not bring the high-volume shooting they require. And Melton gives you defense and toughness but isn't the knockdown shooter Hield is. That decision alone could make or break the season's opening months. But here's where the optimism meets reality. For all of Kuminga's athletic gifts and flashes of brilliance, the numbers don't lie. Lineups featuring him have had some of the worst net ratings for Golden State over the past 3 seasons, especially when Curry and Draymond aren't on the floor. That's not just a coincidence, it's a sign that the team hasn't yet found a way to maximize him within their system. Defensively, the eye test and the advanced stats are telling 2 different stories. Fans see the dunks, the chase-down blocks, the highlight plays, but the metrics show Kuminga ranking just 7th on the roster in point-of-attack defense. He has the tools, but the consistency isn't there yet. On the offensive side, the efficiency issues are even clearer. Kuminga sits in the low percentiles for 3-point shooting, true shooting, and mid-range efficiency. His numbers from key zones on the floor are well below league average, which is a problem when you're being asked to share the court with multiple non-shooters. Part of the challenge is that Kuminga still plays like an isolation scorer, breaking his man down, going to the rim, trying to create on his own. That's fine for stars like Jimmy Butler, but in Golden State's motion system, role players have to adapt. Look at what Aaron Gordon became in Denver or what Sean Marion was in Phoenix. They learned to thrive without always having the ball, cutting at the right moments, crashing the glass, defending multiple positions. Kuminga hasn't fully made that transition yet. And that's the big question hanging over all of this. If the fit doesn't improve and the efficiency issues remain, what happens to his trade value? Right now, the Warriors are betting on him becoming the player they believe he can be. But if another season goes by without a clear leap, the offers next summer could be underwhelming, and Golden State could find themselves stuck between keeping a player who hasn't clicked and moving him for pennies on the dollar. Yet, here's why there's still real belief inside the organization. Kuminga is only 22. He's shown flashes of being able to guard elite wings, run the floor in transition, and create mismatches with his strength and speed. In the right environment, with the right adjustments, he could still become the two-way forward the Warriors need for the post-Curry era. That's why they're shutting down trade talks. That's why they're willing to negotiate the contract details. And that's why Kerr is giving him the keys to a starting spot from day one, because this is the year we find out if Kuminga is truly part of the Warriors' future or just a bridge to whatever comes next. This is not just another season. It's not just another contract. It's a test of patience, of vision, and of the Warriors' ability to evolve while still chasing a title. Dub Nation has seen this team rise from lottery disappointment to dynasty before. And maybe, just maybe, Kuminga's journey will be another chapter in that story, the one where the young, flawed, but fearless forward finally puts it all together and proves that the gamble was worth it. So, buckle up. Because when training camp opens and that first starting lineup walks onto the floor, every possession will be a clue about where this team is headed. And we'll be here, breaking down every play, every adjustment, and every moment that could define the Golden State Warriors season. And here's the key takeaway from the channel: delve into financial education to enhance your quality of life. Within the financial market, explore bonds and shares, particularly focusing on real estate investment trusts, which offer the potential for passive income. Engage with this responsibly and consider reputable investment brokerages worldwide.